going to show you guys something very interesting here. You know, I've talked about this before. People that view my videos, that age of a Trachycarpus palm tree does not determine its size, and size of a Trachycarpus palm tree does not determine its age. So, for instance, that one there has about 5 feet of trunk on it. I planted that one in the 1980s, okay? And the reason why, because there's root competition here. First of all, we had eucalyptus trees, 100-footers growing all over the place. These ones were cut down, and you can see they're sprouting back all over the place like weeds, right? So there's this garden was full of eucalyptus trees, which means it was also full of roots that are sucking the nutrition and life out of everything below them. This was a 100-foot eucalyptus tree. These are my seed grown, and you can see it sprouted off to the top. And then there's another one here that Wendy just finished clipping back. This was another 100-foot eucalyptus tree, right? So that was a 100-foot eucalyptus tree that had the roots infiltrate these gardens and suck the life out of everything below it. So, and there's another one there. There was actually 2 of them here that were cut down. So back in the late 1980s, one of my co-workers went to Germany and he brought me 3 seeds back. Believe it or not, just a few seeds, and I grew them. And they produced these palm trees right here. So these palm trees that you see right here, actually the petioles on this and the top of the palm is actually as tall as me or a little bit taller. But the trunks on these things, that one right there is probably, the trunk on this one is probably 3-4 inches. The trunk on that one's probably about 2 inches. And the trunk on this one is probably about 8 inches. These palm trees were planted in the late 1980s. I'm thinking 1988 or 89, somewhere around there. And because this whole garden is full of roots from eucalyptus trees, there's lots of palms in here, and it probably didn't get watered enough. You know, they're a dwarf. They're like bonsai. So just because you see a 30-foot tall palm tree doesn't mean it's 67 years old. I know a palm tree on this island. It was one of my seedlings, and it was planted in 2001, and it is over 30 feet tall because it has optimum growing conditions. If they're in poor growing conditions, like these, and they know they're starving for light and water and nutrition, well, they're going to grow a lot slower. Another example is, a few years back, Wendy cut down a Douglas fir tree that was probably no more than 6 to 8 inches in diameter. I counted the rings in it. It was 110 years old. And you'd think a tree like that was pretty young. And I told her, I says, man, look at these tight rings in here. This thing was growing in rock, so it was growing super slow. The one beside it had about 2 feet of trunk, which was probably about, maybe that tree was probably 250 years old. So there we go. Size does not determine the age of these palm trees, and likewise, height. You know what I mean? Just because you see a tall palm doesn't mean it's an old palm. Hope that clears things up. And you people know that who watch my videos, and you also know that we do have tens of thousands of palm trees on this property. All right? We have a lot of palm trees on this property. I mean, not just in the nursery, but we have them all over the property. We have a lot of palm trees. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos on this channel. Cheers.